Detail kid, cut. Forward, two.
Yes, we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, mark time, you come this way. You follow him. You follow him. And then the Boy Scouts. Go right around this way.
Go ahead, get ready to go.
Get ready to...
Detail kid, up. Present, huh. Ordered. Huh. Come on, that was the Amish one. Color guy. Order. Huh. Bring them down. Okay, my name is Joe Augusta. I'm the commander of Chapter 2, Disabled American Veterans out of Lawrence, Mass. I'll be talking to you in a little bit, but right now we're going to bring up Evelyn Noyes. And we want to thank the Boy Scouts for raising up your flag.
I want to thank you all for coming as we rededicate this memorial to our World War II veterans. This memorial started in 1950 when a group of citizens from Byfield decided to honor these veterans. They placed the memorial on United Methodist Church grounds at the corner of Church and Central Street. Unfortunately, the church closed their doors and the property was purchased by a private party. When it was noted the memorial needed to be moved, Fred Davis stepped in and when it was noted the memorial needed to be moved, Fred Davis stepped in and organized a group of people. Myself, Bill Wendt, Craig Loeb, John Reagan, Louise Beckett, and Nancy Burke. We chose this spot so that the memorial could be seen by many people, a place to sit and reflect. Researching the World War II veterans on their memorial stone has been a journey of pride for their service, their willingness to step into a volatile situation because of their commitment to God and country. It also brought a feeling of kinship, as if we were meeting them for the first time, a bond that was created, and because of the sacrifices we were able to be here to research their lives. Looking at the soldiers that did not return gave us a feeling of emptiness and sadness for their families. So as we dedicate this memorial stone in memory of every soldier on here, let us also remember them in thoughts and prayers. Think about the families and their ultimate sacrifice, but also take time to remember our military who today continue to protect our freedom. It's with the utmost gratitude that we have here with us today a veteran whose name is on the memorial stone, Richard Johnson. We thank you, Richard.
We just thank you for your service.
And there's a few people that I would like to recognize. First of all, Troop 44, thank you. I would also like to recognize Lenny Mirror, our state rep. Thank you, Lenny, for coming. I believe we have, we have Selectman Doyle, who's also the liaison for the veterans. We have Alicia Greco and Mrs. Do we have anyone else that I have missed? Okay. When I was given the assignment of organizing this event, I was overwhelmed, not knowing how to proceed. So I turned to my cousin Jesse Rogers, a Vietnam vet and a man who's devoted to his fellow veterans. And Jesse told me, he said, we'll take care of this. And he introduced me to Joe Augusta. And as Joe has told you, he's the commander of the Disabled American Veterans. And I would like him to come forward now and proceed with the service. And thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you, Ellen. Right now, I'd like to call over our chaplain.
Cover. God be merciful unto us, and bless us. Cause your face to shine upon us, that your way may be known upon earth, and thy saving strength among all people. Let the people be glad and sing for joy, for thou shalt be judged righteously, and govern the nations upon them. Especially do we pray that we may have your guidance to the end, that we may each of us firmly uphold the great principles of this organization. Amen.
I'm sorry, I forgot the fire chief, Doug Janvrin. And Doug, you wanted to say a few words. Would you just come up and here's an important message too.
Good morning. Can you all hear me? Close enough? Thanks for having the fire department here today. It's an extreme honor to be here with all of you today. My name is Doug Janvrin. I'm the fire chief for the town of Newbury, as well as the president of Protection Fire Company No. 1 in Byfield. This monument has been a very important part of our lives at Protection 1. For many years, we've assembled this monument on the morning of Firefighters Memorial Sunday, which is held on the second Sunday in June. During this time, we honor our fallen brothers and sisters who have answered their last alarm. We have breakfast together, participate in a brief ceremony in front of the fire station, visit and decorate this monument, and decorate each firefighter's grave at the South Byfield Cemetery with a American flag and a geranium. We decorate this monument with American flags, geraniums, and a flower basket because it lists the names of 19 of our firefighters who served in World War II. And that was out of a roster of just 25 at the time in the company. All but one returned home following their tour of duty. I could go into great length and list all the accomplishments of all the members listed on this stone, but I chose to focus on one member today. George Bulgaris became a member of Protection Fire Company No. 1 on May 9, 1939. He was elected to the position of trustee on May 14, 1940, and to the position of president of the company on May 13, 1941. On February 10, 1942, President Bulgaris presided over a regular company meeting. Following that meeting, he thanked the company for their cooperation with him while he was president of the company, as he expected to be called to duty very soon. President Bulgaris was indeed called to duty. He was killed in the line of duty, made the ultimate sacrifice, and was buried in Normandy. This is why we decorate this monument each year at Firefighter Sunday. On August 8, 1944, the company minutes read as follows. Out of respect to the late George Bulgaris, our former president, it was voted that we stand at attention for 1 full minute. It was voted that we have a large picture of Staff Sergeant Bulgaris made and hung in our hall. It was voted that we drape our charter in his honor. It was voted that we buy and drape for a period of 30 days enough black bunting to cover each apparatus room door. I believe this is the first time that we draped our station for the passing of a member, and it's now common practice to do so. I hope you can see how important this monument is to the members of Protection Fire Company No. 1. It is a way for us to remember President Bulgaris and to honor him and all the men enlisted here for their service to our country and to the fire company. Without the sacrifices and dedication of members like these, we would not be where we are today, and we are more than likely would not be enjoying the freedom we now enjoy. I'd like to conclude by reading the members of Protection Fire Company No. 1, which are listed on this monument. George Bulgaris, Harold Barber, James Bulgaris, David Caldwell, Joel Lancey, Henry F. McGrath, Sterling McKay, George E. McPhail, Wallace O. Pearson, William R. Pearson, Benjamin Pearson Jr., Albert P. Rock, John J. Rock, Philip J. Rock, Newell S. Rogers, William M. Sr. Jr., Marshall Sorry, Marcus W. Steele, Irving Witham. We remember and thank these men for their sacrifice and service to our country. On behalf of the Newbury Fire Department and the members of Protection Fire Company No. 1, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all veterans for their sacrifice and service. May God bless all of you on this day of remembrance and always. Thank you.
Our representative, Lenny Mira, would like to say a few words. And following him, the selectman who is a liaison for the veterans, Mike Doyle, would say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. And thank you, everyone, for coming out today. And especially thanks for everyone who put together this wonderful ceremony. I wasn't planning on speaking today. I did not prepare any words for this, but I just wanted to say very briefly that this is a day we set aside for the men and women who served in our military. we should never take for granted the fact that we live in a great nation that is safe and secure. That doesn't happen on its own. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because men and women dedicate their lives and sacrifice themselves for the benefit of this nation. And as elected officials, we attend a lot of ceremonies, a lot of events. I was in Merrimack this morning where the Lone Oak will be distributing meals to veterans. I was just in Haverhill after that at a ceremony at a World War II park and Vietnam Memorial in Haverhill. And now we're here, and no matter how many times we speak, no matter how many events we have, it never seems sufficient to give the proper amount of thanks and gratitude to the men and women who served. So to those of you who have, a grateful nation turns to you and offers its utmost thanks and gratitude. We're here today. We have the safest, most secure nation on earth because of what you have done in dedicating your lives to making it that way. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all the veterans. Appreciate it.
First of all, Karen Tyler, the director for the Essex County Vets, apologizes she couldn't be here. She's at another ceremony in Wyndham today. But on her behalf and on the board I represent, I want to thank the people that got this done. It's a labor of love. It's been a long time coming. And like I said, I wasn't a veteran, but my father was in World War II, and it was an honor to take this position as your liaison to this board. And the last thing I just want to say today, I started my morning off by remembering Don Wilkinson. He was the first kid that I knew that was killed in Vietnam in '67. The Plum Island Bridge is named for him, and when you go over the bridge today, look down at that memorial and say what it says in his thing, freedom's not free. So, thank you all.
Evelyn, anyone else? Did you have anyone else? Yeah, I'm going to leave my mask on because I have a tooth missing. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I want to begin today by recognizing all those among us who have been a part of the great brotherhood and sisterhood we call the U.S. military, our veterans, active duty service members, guardsmen, and reservists. It is your service and sacrifice that has kept our country safe and free. If you're able, please raise your hand and be recognized. Come on, we got more vets than that. Thank you for your service. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the fighting of World War I ended in 1918. Due to the conclusion of the war to end all wars, November 11th became a universally recognized day of celebration. The day was originally declared Armistice Day, 8 years after the end of World War I, and honored only veterans of that war. Then in 1954, after World War II and the Korean War, it was renamed Veterans Day to honor all veterans who served America in war and defended democracy. So, today we honor our veterans who unselfishly placed their lives on the line for our freedom. Those men and women were ordinary people until they heard the call of duty and answered it. They left their families, their homes, and their lives, not for recognition or fame, or even the honor we bestow upon them today. They fought to protect our country, to maintain our way of life. As we honor our veterans and remember their great deeds, let us also salute those who are currently fighting for our freedom. The war on terrorism has helped us all realize how truly unique the American way of life is. The freedom we enjoy is extremely special, and that is why we must defend it. So now is the time to not only honor those who have fought or are fighting for our freedom, it is also the time for each of us to take part in protecting it. The defense of freedom is not just for those in the military. Each of us shares that duty and that responsibility. We don't have to join the Army or the Navy or any other organization of defense to actively defend our way of life. We can't protect our freedom simply by maintaining it here in America. If we want to preserve our freedoms, we must put them into action. For example, by voting in elections or speaking out against injustices. We must also ensure that everyone feels the benefits of freedom. And we can do that by volunteering in our communities or teaching our children what it really means to be an American. Veterans Day isn't just for veterans. It's a day for all Americans. It's a day to remember why they were fighting, and a day for all of us to begin our journey of protecting our freedom and the freedom of many future generations. Thank you for honoring our veterans today. Let us walk towards tomorrow, still honoring them, by living in the freedom they protected. Seven brave men did not come home. They will not be forgotten. What about the 110 that did come home? How many of them may have suffered with disabilities within their lifespan? Let us not forget them. This memorial is a site of sacred remembrance of the 117 American patriots from Byfield that went to war and sacrificed all for the glory of God and country. God bless each and every one of them. And God bless America. We will now have the laying of the wreath by Mr. Dick Johnson, which I believe his name is on the list.
The last surviving veteran.
And the three surviving veteran sons. When you're ready.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Huh. Order. Huh. Okay, that concludes our ceremony for today. I want to thank Evelyn and her committee and all of you from Byfield that are here today for allowing us to be here to do a ceremony for you. Once again, we're the Disabled American Veterans. You can tell by looking at us that we're from Lawrence, Mass, Chapter 2. We thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good job, Jeff.
One last thing. We do claims for all veterans. We do benefits for all veterans. Okay? If you need cards, we have some here with us. And don't be afraid to call us, because we can take care of you. Thank you.
I just want to mention that Heidi and Steve Fram have some snacks over here, and we have booklets. We're taking orders, so if you want to have a book printed, Nancy Burke and Alex will help you with that. Thank you.
Yeah, I knew that.
Hey, Alicia, good to see you. Thank you so much. I haven't been
I get your name.
Yeah.